Okay. Yeah.
The people that were here. I will.
My gallery here. All right. Are we? I can't remember who else said they weren't going to be able to be on tonight. So
Matt said he wasn't, Andrea, Bob, and I haven't heard from Jen in ages. I don't know if you have.
I have not, other than maybe last week replying to a group text. So I guess we
Oh,
can.
there she is.
She is
Yeah.
on. Hi, Jen.
Hi, sorry. I've been trying to log in on my computer. It wouldn't let me, so I'm on my phone. I apologize.
Okay.
No worries at all. Glad to have you.
Thank you.
Okay, and Paul's going to join us. He sent me a text a little while ago and asked if he could join so that we can
What the other names?
talk about he
I
wants
can't
to,
hear.
turning over the reins of any projects at Banshire or whatever that he has, and setting up a meeting to do so. Paul, I don't know if you can hear me. Chris is on, and you can see who else. I don't think Matt can make it tonight, so we'll take notes or he can see the video. But let me go ahead and call tonight's probe committee meeting to order. It's Wednesday, December 3rd, 2025. Do I have a second?
Second.
Oh, thank you. Okay, we're officially called to order. There are no members of the public. Well, Paul, you're a member of the public, so we'll do your conversation first about Banshire and any other projects you wanted to discuss.
So I just wanted to pass on those projects so that the material and planning wasn't lost. And of course, it's up to the current board if they want to continue the project or not. But since there was materials available, I thought it would be good to pass it on. But I would assume like Bob and Matt would be maybe the key people. I don't know if Chris has taken on that role or not, but so I thought I would meet with them, whoever's interested, if anybody, out in the field and show them the couple of projects and then walk away. So, but since Bob and Matt aren't here, is Bob on?
No,
No.
he said he couldn't make it. I haven't talked to Bob in a little while, so I don't know if he's still got personal things going on or if it's just because of some other conflict, but
Okay.
we'll catch him
Because
up.
Suns have hockey.
Oh, no, sorry, Matt. I said Matt,
Bob.
but I meant Bob.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, I know.
Well, I'll try and text them and see if we can hook up, just connect one evening or weekend, and then it'd probably take an hour
Okay.
just to let them know. All right.
Okay.
That was all I had.
All right. Well, thank you. Appreciate you being on and appreciate your
Is there
help turning things over.
any other hot topics tonight?
I don't think so. Matt isn't on to tell us about Banshire, but if we set up a meeting, then we can.
Well, separately, independent of what I was talking about, I noticed there's a big culvert washed out on the Blue Trail. I was wondering if and it's got barricades across. I was wondering if there's a plan, if the township has a plan on how to repair that. That's just curiosity.
That I don't know, but we will get that information.
Does maybe Dawn know something? Is Jeff working on that?
I have no idea, but I hope that you guys will use me as your conduit so that I can go back. I'm writing down these all questions. So anything we get from this meeting, I'll go back and ask and check for you.
Great. Thank you.
Well, there is a post on the map on the website that says the trail's closed.
So there's a post on the bulletin board at the parking lot that says trail closed. So that tells me that the township's involved. And so I would think whatever they're doing, they would go through Heather to tell her, give her updates.
Okay. Well, there has been a giant lack of communication between all of this. So I'm hoping to help with that. I
Great.
met with
Yeah.
Kyle a couple weeks ago and we've talked about this, and I'm hoping that we can fix that.
Yes, agreed.
Okay.
All right. Well, I will absolutely facilitate that meeting. And we'll make it happen as soon as possible, given the other
Heather,
guys' schedules. Yeah,
Heather, this totally an aside, but it's kind of related to what Paul's mentioning. We had discussed at one point that we were going to have like, or Jeff was going to facilitate, and Paul, maybe you remember this, that there was going to be like a portal or some place for us to put all of our work, that we could log in through the township. And Jeff had mentioned that because we do feel like things get lost, like flyers that Kyle works on, stuff like that. Like as there's turnover and as people try to leave the board or, or leave the board, for the, not the board, the committee, sorry, leave the committee, we would like a good place to keep all of this stuff. And I think Paul and I had talked to Jeff about this a couple of years ago. Do you remember that, Paul?
Yeah. I think it's just a matter of setting it up, get them to give you a little spot on the server or something.
Yeah,
That's
so
the
Okay,
infrastructure.
Don, if you could,
Jennifer, is it a portal for the pro?
it would be more like for the pro and the board of supervisors, or maybe like a tab or something that we would have permission to be able to keep all these documents. Just
Okay.
because there is so much turnover
Okay,
everywhere, board of supervisors,
Yeah.
with the pro, with all the different committees,
Yeah.
that if there was some way to collect this so that, I mean, I think Paul would still need to meet with people, but it would be a great place to put like receipts or estimates or,
uh-huh,
signage or like, stuff that people come up with, just a place like,
Okay.
like on my server at work, we have a shared T drive. And everybody just puts stuff on there that then everybody has access to it. So I'm not very technical that way, but Jeff had mentioned it at one point with working with Dave about
it
it.
could even be Google Drive or something.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
know if the township email server will allow those email addresses to go to a Google Drive or not.
Okay.
Exactly.
That's
And I
never
think
mind.
Google Drive is getting better and better every time with, doing that kind of stuff. So just some
Mhm.
place that we could share those things so that things aren't lost and that, people would have access to as there's turnover. So.
And Jennifer, somebody had suggested to me that we all meet before your meeting and get ideas like this and write them all down, because there's not been any communication, and I've kind of been ad hoc as your next person.
No,
Whether that'll
and I appreciate that. And I just feel like some things like we talk about and they just don't seem to go
and
anywhere
that's-
because
and that's true. And
because
I
of the
think
turnover. Yeah.
it can't all happen in a board of supervisors meeting. So I think there needs to be a way that we can communicate and make a list of questions. Then I can facilitate getting answers. You know what I
No,
agree with you.
Yeah, like something like a planning thing, like to
Yeah.
come up with that kind of stuff. Yeah, that
That would
would
be
work.
great. That'd be great.
I have mentioned things like that to Jeff before, and he has just said that we have to be, we're a little bit restricted and have to be careful about what kind of meetings we have that
That's right.
aren't being
That's right.
recorded. Like, and so
Yeah.
I need to know what the parameters are,
That's
Yeah,
right.
And,
And
that is some of the confusion because Dave at one time told us that that the sunshine, right, and I believe
Right.
fully that the sunshine law does not apply to the pro. We've
Right.
talked about that before. But if it means one or two people from the pro meet with
Right.
one person from, then that just alleviates some of the concern.
Exactly.
But
Exactly. So it could be Kyle and Heather and me, or you and me. It could have been just a couple of us meeting together and bullet pointing the ideas and the questions, and then that'll alleviate a lot of this confusion.
okay. Thank you.
Okay. All right. We are going back to the minutes from September 3rd, 2025. Do we have enough of a quorum? Yeah, we do. We've got 4, right? Okay, so we can,
And I did review those and I will second that.
okay. Motion to approve the minutes from September 3rd, seconded by Jen. Minutes are approved and we will submit Kyle, if you would send that copy of them over to Stacy in the morning or tonight or whenever, that would be wonderful. And now we're on to old business. Matt is not here to give us a Bamshire update.
I have the update.
Oh, you do? Okay. All right.
The
Dawn?
Banshire Bridge is on schedule, but likely won't be done until February or March at this point because of the hunting season.
Okay. now,
He's waiting.
specifically,
He's waiting until that's over. He has the materials are ready and waiting. Either he has them on site or over at the
Over at the
township
township.
building.
okay.
Could I ask
Um,
which bridge? Because that's one of the projects I was going to talk about. What is it? Where the culvert washed out, or a different bridge?
No, I think it's the Culvert Bridge, the
Okay.
one we walked through. You took Andrea and I through, where you want to get a mower over
I'm
it.
gonna say something.
Is this is Blue Trail?
Yeah, where I want to get the mower over is where I had designed a bridge, but I don't know that that's where they're going to put it.
Well, see, that's why I think we all need to have Jeff and Jim and people meet out there. I can't meet out there, but I think it needs to be a group of people. We have to know what we're all talking about because
Well,
I think,
we're missing Matt is all.
okay, okay,
Dawn, that's all. We don't need
okay.
whatever.
All right. Well, by next month, I mean, if he wants to wait till the end of hunting season, you know, we've got some time, but by next month's meeting, I'd like to have we'll have
Okay.
those answers on what bridges we're talking about and what the projects are and be able to speak a little more.
Okay, and he said the trail from Crossings up to Paradox is open. He said there is hunting on the private property that backs up to it. And he said a new bridge was built this fall, which is a big
Fine.
upgrade from the original bridge.
On township property or Paradox?
I imagine it's in Crossing.
Okay.
And he will continue to keep an eye on the trails at Crossing and in Franklin for any down trees or maintenance that needs to be done.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to ask him a little more specific info. All right, moving right along. Snake Rock. I understand that Snake Rock, some of the Snake Rock rocks might be some of the problem the day that Bob and I were shutting down the bathrooms over there.
Yeah. So Kyle and I talked about this too. I think what we need to do is have her beautiful sign made before we create a new snake. And then there could be ways that we can affix the snake so that people can't move it. Plus there'll be a sign that says they can't move it. But I think that should all wait till the spring. With that said, Melissa's granddaughter, Willow, already started a snake. I don't know if anybody's been over at the office, but she started a snake for us. It was so sweet. But we
Aw.
don't have to use that one over at Crossing. We can use that one at the office or whatever. But I think the basic problem was there wasn't anything that told the kids they weren't supposed to take this. There wasn't any indication of what to do with the rock. So
Right. Well, somebody made the sign already.
yes, we
Okay,
have it.
just didn't get posted.
We have the prices for it. We just have to get it approved to make it.
I got you. Yeah.
Are we moving the snake or leaving it where?
We haven't decided that yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is pushed to spring. Don and Chris, both bat houses.
Again, push to spring, I believe.
Yeah. Joey's so cute. He made such a beautiful presentation. He even got a donation of money before his presentation was over by phone. And he's adorable, but he's a band member. He's a super kid. So he asked us for permission to move it into the spring. So we gave him permission to have it bumped into the spring. So,
Yeah, as long as he knows what his,
oh,
this is a scout project, right?
he made
For
a
him.
beautiful presentation.
Right,
yeah.
he knows what his deadlines are. is what I'm
And,
trying
and
to
we
say.
will stay on him, believe me.
I know.
By a certain age.
And can I just ask a question about this, Scott? I know I've been kind of absent just with taking care of my mom and stuff, but there was some discussion in the minutes about coming up with a manual for the scouts. Has that progressed? Okay.
Yes, and Kyle and I have talked about it, and I have suggested, because I went through the thing with Joey, I've pretty much got an outline. So I'm gonna come up with a formal, thing with Stacy, and we're gonna write it out. I'll let you all see it. And what to do if a Boy Scout comes to you and requests it, and then we'll keep a running list of projects that they can pick. A lot of ones come with ideas, but some don't. So we'll keep a running list of projects, and then we'll have a official how to handle the kid when they come and the procedures to go through. And I think with what Chris and I did with Joey was just, it worked fabulous. We met his father, we met with Jeff, we met with E and myself, and we talked through everything, and it just was very smooth. So I think it'll work.
Okay. And I would say no two projects obviously are alike, but maybe if some of the former scouts that had some successful projects, maybe they could provide some input on things that worked, and maybe even have maybe have like a reference listed that current scouts could talk to former scouts to get ready for this.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful, because Joey has some upcoming scouts in his troop. He's got 4 or 5 upcoming Eagle Scouts. So we've got a whole, group of kids coming up that'll want stuff to do.
And maybe
Joey,
if you could even have, I'm sorry, maybe you could even have scouts as a group, like as a troop. It's been years since my kids were, but maybe come to the township as a group and maybe meet with the township in a separate meeting and be able to like learn about the opportunities. Yeah.
That would be awesome. If you want to help with that, I'd love it.
I don't know anybody in a troop, but
but that's a great idea. And Joey actually worked with the group before that built all our Bluebird boxes.
Oh, excellent. That's great.
So the Bluebird boxes were built in his garage. So it goes through the
Piggybacks off each other. Yes. Okay.
Okay, good. Andrea is not on. I don't have an update from her about yoga. I know she'd spoken to somebody and there were some emails, but I don't know that. And in this weather, I imagine that's something that will be till spring anyway.
I was the one that gave Andrea all 3 of the people. I know they were still interested. I know that one of them was the person that did it before. Jenny Wood is one of my garden girls. And so the 3 of them, I've already talked to all 3 of them. I know they're interested. I know Andrea was in. So of course that probably will be pushed off to the spring too, but but it should be a very positive.
Yeah. Okay. Bob did say that Dale Hendricks is, sort of back in the loop and willing to help us out with, collecting seeds and everything, which obviously also won't happen for a couple months, but he's more than willing to actually schedule the meeting with the supervisors at this point, if that would be necessary or requested.
And Dale and I talked, we went to a wedding, Shane's wedding. Dale was at the wedding and we talked, and he's very excited about helping us. So whenever we're ready, he's good to go.
Yeah, Bob said late winter or early spring to meet at Dale's and gather the seeds.
Yeah.
So.
All right, and Kyle already reported about the winery trail. Kyle, Franklin Preserve signage to be completed.
Yeah, we still are talking about the 2 loops and the exit to parking lot signs.
Mhm.
I did, I saw on the map, the loops are labeled A and B.
Okay.
Because I know we were waiting to come up with names for them. So I don't know if they want to stay with what the map has on it. But anyway, I asked Matt if he thought we needed the signs over there, and he said yes, he thinks it's a good idea to continue and get them done. So I guess they're over at the township building.
And I did check, Jeff has all those colored circles. And I did dig up, after I talked to you, Kyle, I dug up Dave's email about that. And he had an idea to do it through a Boy Scout project, but we can, if Matt can help us and Chris can help us do that, we do have the circles. We can get that done.
Yeah,
Um,
I think it's something that has to be printed as a sign though, because the circle alone isn't going to help with
Okay.
those directions. I mean, the circles with the arrows are great, but it needs a
Okay.
sign above it or below it that says
Okay.
what that arrow is. You know, it's because you're not staying on a trail there.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
it's not that you're staying on the
But
red
can-
trail or the blue trail,
Can you engrave the circles?
not the ones that are there. But these don't have to be big signs, you know, I mean, metallic signs that are, probably this size that just say, loop whatever, loop A, loop B with the arrow above it. And then same thing, exit to parking lot. So, I guess we just have to get some pricing on that.
Well, and a
We've
design
talked
and a
about-
price and a,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we've talked about that being part of a scout project, but it's so small as far as most of the trails already being marked. There isn't,
Right.
unless
And
it's
that's-
tacked on to something else.
I agree with
It's
that.
just-
I
think it's just something to
agree.
kind of just get it done,
No, I agree.
And then the old trail marking with the 3 arrows that really go nowhere. Matt said it's still out there. It probably should be taken down.
We've talked about removing that like 20
Mhm.
times, so
Yeah,
it just needs
so-
to be.
That or either, I thought maybe if it does go somewhere to get those stick-on letters, and just say Paradox Trail or wherever it is and see how long it lasts.
I think it's kind of too far away from that stuff and.
Okay, I don't know where it
Actually,
is.
is that it's down like where the old, like leading toward the old post road or something, but one of the arrows just points straight down, and I think that's a trail that is not being used anymore. So, but either way, they're not labeled. They're just arrows. They're not labeled as far as what they mean. So I think they're not really, I don't think they serve any purpose. It's my opinion. Anybody else have a comment?
No, I think if we can come up with a plan and we have to put it all together and present it.
Yeah. Well, I think, I mean, it's little projects like this. I think you need to add it to a work day,
Right.
Saturday work day when the weather improves, and just say, okay, we're yanking out a sign and we're installing these other little signs and things. So more to follow on that. Gaga Pit, that's me. I have not made any progress with Gaga Pit still. I need to have an on-site meeting with whoever will be the decision maker about location.
Okay.
Before I can start pricing, because the Gaga Pits can be pretty much any size we want it to be. There's no regulation size or anything like that. Someone near and dear had suggested that perhaps it could go behind the comfort station.
Okay.
That is septic field, but the Gaga Pit doesn't need to be underground at all.
I don't know how that works.
Well, I mean, it's not a drainage field. It's just that the septic.
I know, but
the center of the Gaga
there are
Pit.
rules for that, so I don't know.
Yeah. So anyway, but if not there, I mean, because that would be great because it's already pretty level.
Right.
Not going to need any excavation or anything, but we need to know for pricing purposes and everything else, we need to know whether, we have a place that is level already, whether excavation is
Okay.
gonna be needed, whether we're gonna have to bring
Okay,
more materials to level the ground, those kinds of things.
okay. Heather, do you
Yeah.
have any idea who makes those or how you make them, or do you dig them
they're-
up, or?
They are pretty signed. I know Paul has built one himself. They are not complicated.
Okay.
There are lots of templates online,
Okay,
but you don't need to hire somebody to bring them in. It's just, anybody who can cut wood the proper length and
Okay.
angle the edges so they meet up
okay,
appropriately to create the octagon or whatever it is pretty much all it's.
because I know the kids had done one down below the pavilion, the top pavilion. They had just made a dirt one
Mhm.
down past the baseball field. So there was a fake one down there, but yeah. I mean, we can get with Jeff when the weather warms up and we can look out there and see what the options are.
Yes. So that is still on my
Would you
to-do list.
want one or two, do you think? Do
I
you
mean,
do-
I think just one for starters. There's not,
Okay.
I mean, I don't know, it's not like you've gonna have 50 kids out there at one time.
Okay,
Other
but would you
than that,
make
a possible event,
okay,
there's, I don't
would you
think there's
make a
reason.
sign for that?
A sign for the Gaga pit?
Yeah,
Like what it, you mean, like
I
tell
don't-
me what it is, or,
I mean, I don't know too much about it, but
I mean, we certainly could put like a little informational sign there for people
Okay.
who don't know what it is or how.
okay,
And then we have to figure out, are we going to leave balls there, which are probably gonna disappear, is there
yeah,
like
right,
a time and a place, that somebody can, maybe
Okay.
somebody can come and sign one out at the township building during certain
Okay.
hours, something like that, you know what I mean?
Okay.
But that would be the next thing to figure out.
Yeah.
A lot of people have their own, if they know it's there,
Okay.
they can bring their own ball to
Okay.
play. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it would be more like people would bring their own ball, like they do
Yeah.
pickleball or for
Right.
tennis and stuff. They bring their own equipment.
right.
I know Jeff has done QR codes before. Is it possible to do like a very small sign to save money and just have a QR code
There you go.
to
Sure,
use for the
absolutely.
the directions? But my
'Cause-
kid's school has one, but it has a full sign. But I mean, that's a school
Okay.
that's different.
Jennifer, could you take a picture of that sign?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
it's in my kid's old school. So when we drive
Yeah.
by, I'll try to go over and see what it looks
I
like.
mean, I'm just curious, but
Yeah.
we do have a way to make QR codes, so that might be something we could do, so.
Yeah, because I think we're making lots of signs, and at some point,
No, no,
it
no,
will
no,
become
but
a maintenance issue. But
yeah, okay,
okay,
thank you.
This Gaga Pit would be a good Boy Scout project. Let
yeah,
them buy the sign.
Mm-hmm,
yeah, that would work too. Yeah, and then
Mine-
they could
mine-
publicize it and stuff too.
yeah,
Mine's like $30. You buy them online.
right,
Yeah, right. Sorry.
well, lumber has gotten a little more ridiculous, but.
So I would say the
Alright.
Gaga Pit's like $1,000 after you buy the wood and the stone dust for the bottom. So that's a Boy Scout project.
okay,
And then I would suggest, of course, it's your decision, but people show up to the Titlet. They don't always have a ball because they're just there with their littlest kids.
right,
But a ball is $9 at Walmart.
mhm,
So if you guys would budget one ball a month, like, well, just for the warm months. So let's
Yeah.
say 6 balls
Yeah.
a year. So you'd spend like $60 on balls a year.
right,
But if they disappear after a week, then stop
right.
doing it. know? But if you say we're going to throw one out a month, probably, and by the end of the month it'll be gone or dead or popped or whatever. And after a year you say it's not working, let's stop doing it. But after the year you only had to put out 3, then you should keep doing it. So
Mhm.
that's my suggestion. But
No, and I think that's fair to try it. I think
yeah, balls are $9. Like who
Right.
cares?
Right,
And I think we had better faith in humanity. We trusted them with the porta potties, and that worked out okay.
And
And-
and
and the
I don't-
snake.
Yeah, it could go either way.
yeah, I think the snakes are going to make good weapons, but I'll leave that one. Oh, that's
We make them,
dangerous.
okay, you gotta go.
So
Pretty enough, maybe people will be less likely to. I don't know, they were colored before. It looks pretty.
What, are they gonna do porta potties again this winter or not?
I don't know. Dave
It's
was
not-
one of the, personal
Okay,
benefactors of that, and
It's not in the budget. I reached out with Jeff to Jack for pickleball. And we asked Jack if the pickleball people needed it and would they be able to chip in for the porta potties? And he said they didn't need them.
okay.
So right now,
'Cause last year,
the-
Kathy Goen told me that
They would.
they already had money set
I'm-
aside for it.
I'm telling you, as God
Yeah,
is my
I know.
witness, I wrote to
okay.
Jack myself and talked to Jack myself. And he
So, but-
said he didn't need them.
But
So,
Dawn, I don't think Jack plays anymore out at our park. I
all
think,
right,
I
well,
think Kathy is now kind of the leader.
okay, well, Kathy's one of my best friends, so I will certainly talk to her tomorrow.
Okay, yep, she's the one that last year was all ready to do it, and then all of a sudden Dave and Jim said, oh, we're gonna donate that ourselves. So I'm sure that, unless her group is not playing anymore, I don't see why
Okay.
they wouldn't.
Well, she's one of my dearest friends, so I will
Okay.
talk to her tomorrow.
Okay, well, we will. I know you will follow up on that. Okay, is there anything else old business wise that we haven't touched on?
Healing Garden.
Well,
There you go, Don.
well, I mean, people want it under the pro, but nobody's ever stepped up to help me with the healing garden. So if anybody wants to help with the healing garden or help with the programs, let me know. If anybody wants to help with the library and the programs, let me know. Otherwise, I'm doing this all by myself. So I would love to have help if anybody wants to help me. If you don't, I've already started making plans for next year. I've already started making plans with the library for next year. And if everybody wants to know about it, here I am.
Okay. Are there any updates about it right now? Is there anything going on right now? Or is everything just resting until?
It's sleeping for the
It's
winter,
resting,
but yeah.
Right, yeah, okay. All right. And I don't remember what what you decided about the hedge.
It's gonna be taken care of next spring. I've
Okay.
already got it all lined up.
All right. And then I know we ran into a lot of you ran into a lot of problems with getting the meadow underway because of chemicals and things needed and runoff. to
Well, it's,
people's well
I'll
water.
tell you what it is. It's the money.
Mhm.
It's the money, it's the money, it's the money. And until we address the fact, because of MS4, we do not have any money.
We still have money.
We don't have any money. I can't even discuss it with anybody because we don't have the money. So now Kyle and I talked about getting grants. We are more than happy to get grants. And if Nancy Widows is this famous grants person and she can get us grants, great.
Mhm.
However, we are not currently taking grants from DCNR. And I went to the class for DCNR. I had the people from Chester County Parks and Recreation come to the office and meet with me. And we sat there for 3 hours and talked about programs and things for the park. All of their grants are matching grants.
Mhm.
Right now, we don't have the money.
Mhm.
I mean, so if come next year, we figure out the budget, we figure out what's going on and I'd love to get new playground equipment. I'd love to get a meadow. I'd love to get a this. I'd love to get a that. But until we can promise everybody we can get a grant or we can get the money, I don't know what to say.
Mhm. Do we have any like ballpark idea of what kind of?
Anyone?
Oh, yeah, call over to London Britain and ask them how much their meadow was.
I mean, is it tens of thousands?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think it's 6.
yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, I've met with the people. I've met with the people that put that meadow in. I've met with the people that know about meadows. I've met with North Creek Nursery. I've met with all those people. I don't know. It's a lot of money
Mhm.
to do it the right way.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Moving on to new business. I personally don't know anything about mowing maintenance schedules.
If I
I
could-
talked to Matt about this. Just, to see if he can, he said he didn't do a good job on Keene this year because of the dispute with the landowner.
Mhm.
So he didn't really want to get involved with that. So he knew it was overgrown. He said next year he will do a better job. He felt that Crossan and Franklin was taken care of. Banshire, not much mowing, but a lot of tree branches and things like that they took care of.
Mhm.
So, that's all he's on, I feel he's pretty much on top of it. He's looking for volunteers to help him out with mowing and checking on them and those kind of things.
Okay.
And I
Well-
did talk to Jeff, and we pay for mowing on the Gahagan Trail, Mount Olivet, Keene, and Franklin.
No,
But-
you don't pay on Keene. That's
All right, well, I will check again, but that's what
May-
he told me this morning.
so
Okay,
Dawn, maybe you did one time this year, but in my so many years of doing it
This is
personally
down, not bad.
myself, we did not have the
Yeah.
township pay for it, even though I
Okay.
asked for it. But
okay.
Paul, is that the one that Eric's gone out before and just weed whack? Sometimes it just needs weed whacking, sometimes it needs mowing.
I don't remember what Eric worked on. Sorry.
That's okay. I just remember I remember it not being
But-
paid for. I remember you mowing it once and I remember Eric going out.
Yeah,
last year.
and Matt's done it several times. I've done it. Chris has done it, but we've asked for the township and maybe once or twice in the last, I don't know, it's been there 8 or 10 years, Dawn. So maybe, yeah,
All
once or
right,
twice.
all
But
right, I'll ask
as a-
again. But
as
I
a
asked,
as a regular mowing, the Gagan Trail, the township takes care of 100%. There's no volunteers on that. And what was the other one?
Oh,
That's about it.
Can I ask, my neighbors used to volunteer to do the Gagan Trail. Did that stop? They stopped having volunteers do the Gagan Trail?
As far as I know,
Okay.
it was all stopped and the township was mowing. And my criticism was they were mowing it super wide, like 40 feet wide in some areas.
The township was
The
not.
township. And I was like, minimize your cost, only mow 6 feet wide and let the rest grow.
Yeah.
But because I would rather take that money they were using there and put it on some of the other trails like Keene and Banffshire. Like my request was if the township could just pay to mow twice a year, I could do the rest. That would have been so much help. But I could never get anybody to do that. So the only reason I hung on the call was for this topic is that I heard what Matt said because the Keene Trail was not mowed this year at all. And me and my neighbors and anybody else who hikes it were like, once you go there one time and you can't walk through it, you just don't go back anymore because it was a bad experience.
okay, this is really not getting us anywhere. I will go back. I asked this morning. This was the answer I got. If you write it down and send it to me, I will be happy to follow up on this.
But let
Okay.
me make my point, Don, was Matt just said through Kyle that he didn't do it because of the land dispute. And that's probably what happened because we do have a
Okay.
land dispute there, a property line dispute. Do you know what I'm
Mhm.
talking about?
I do.
So I think that's settled now. I'm not sure. I mean, she has a fence installed. So I think as long as we stay outside the fence, we're safe, right? But it's a very skinny little trail that Matt was able to clear. And
I know.
may I suggest that now during the winter, you guys widen that by moving some earth. That's what needs to happen. Move some earth. And then the trail's more usable. Right now, it's just not a friendly trail. And then the second part is nobody ever got the east end of Keene Trail. Matt did mow after we asked. After some neighbors complained, he mowed the west end of the Keene Trail, but the east end is on the other side of Auburn Road. And maybe he forgot about it or didn't know about it. I don't know. And so
Okay.
one of the guys that used to do it for me, Chris, he went and did it as a favor, just because he's a volunteer
Okay.
to take care of the other side of Auburn Road. The Keene Trail crosses Auburn Road, so you got to remember there's two halves to it. That's all the point I wanted to make. That's why I stayed on the call. Is
Okay.
when I left, I feel like my efforts weren't. Nobody picked up the ball. You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
and
Okay.
I'm not trying to blame people. I thought, well, I should at least report that so you guys
That's
know
right.
that, hey,
That's right.
So that's
And
all I'm trying to say.
and Paul, I agree. I agree. And reporting things, that's what this committee is for,
Right.
is to make lists of what we need to pay attention to. I can't guarantee it'll get done. I can't guarantee what's going to happen, but
Right.
we can at least bring it to the forefront, bring it to their attention, and see if we can get it done. So that's what I'm trying to do now with you guys, is to help you have a liaison to the board, and I'm writing down all of these questions. I'm trying to make this work.
But I mean, what I just said is really just something for this group to organize volunteers. That it's nothing to do
And
with
that's
the board of
great.
supervisor.
And
Yeah,
that's wonderful.
it's just
But we-
for this
But we
group.
need to know when you are doing stuff. We need to know when you're doing stuff that way, because I have a wonderful volunteer, Noah, who's out there doing all this stuff. You know, Noah, he does
Yeah.
all this stuff and he never tells us. And I said, Noah, you need to tell us so that we can count that, we can see what you've done, we can use it, and we can put it in the big picture. It has to be put in the big picture. So when you go out and mow, or when you go, it has to be included in the big picture.
Well, I did report it before I
Okay.
got kicked off the pro committee, but
No.
ever since I got kicked off, I don't do the volunteer work anymore.
Okay, but
Yeah.
if you're gonna be out doing any work on township property, I would beg you to please contact me. I don't care who you tell.
You
I
don't
would
have to
like
worry
you
about
to-
that, Dawn. You don't have to
I
worry
would
about
just like you to say, you're gonna do this. We can
I
count it as
understand.
volunteer hours, and I would love to have a huge volunteer pool.
I
That's
understand.
That's my dream. But that way we can count and know what we're doing and be responsible for everything that's being done.
Yeah, Donna made that clear like 2 years ago that she
Okay.
wants to know everything we do. And that was when I was on the pro board.
Okay.
But I'm not saying I'm going out and doing any volunteer work now that I'm off the pro board. I'm not.
Okay. It's up to
I was
you.
referring to the work I did when I was on the pro board.
Okay. It's up to you. That's on you.
One quick question, Paul. You said your friend Chris did some work on the east side of Keene Trail. Was that this year or is that in the
Yeah,
past?
that was this year.
Okay.
He called me and said, "Hey, Keene Trail's a mess." I was like, "Look, man, I'm out. I got booted." I said, "You need to call the township."
Yeah, why?
And so he texted me like a week later and said, "I cleared it myself." Like, you know what I mean? And I think that's common. People don't feel that it's appropriate to call and complain when they can just go handle it. And because he's a volunteer and he's mowed it many times over the years, he knows what to do. But he doesn't know who to call to complain. I was his contact.
Jeff is the same person that everybody calls. He's the township manager. Jeff is the one. I don't know why anybody doesn't understand why there isn't one person to call the
I think-
office and
I
you talk
think-
to Jeff.
I know, and I think people don't want to be seen as, complaining and not everybody knows the township office, Dawn. There's 4,000 residents and not
I
everybody.
know, and I find that very, very disheartening.
Well, I think as long as the roads are plowed, they don't really care about local
I
politics.
understand.
Local
I
towns.
understand.
Anyway, I was appreciative of Chris doing it, but I did tell
Yeah,
him, I said, look, if
absolutely.
you don't let them know, then next year the same thing will happen. Nobody will know it because they didn't
That's
even
right.
know.
That's right.
Yeah, so I agree with you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Well, that's why I was hanging around. So I'll drop off and let you guys finish up. Thanks,
Thanks,
Heather.
Paul.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Paul, so much. All right, where are we? Easter egg hunt, or I don't even know when. When is Easter 2026?
April 5th.
April 5th.
And I have checked with New Garden, 10 New London and London Britain, and nobody has anything scheduled. So I think
Good.
we should schedule and then let them work around us.
Yay, Kyle.
Okay. Um, I would, I would love it if we as a committee can come up with bullet lists of specific items that need to be done for it. And what we want to, who else we want to bring in, what we want to do, like music, food trucks, whatever. And then we will divvy up those responsibilities. In the past, the reason we didn't have it this past year is because the office staff personnel got so overwhelmed by the 2024. Oh, wait, no, that wasn't the Easter egg hunt. Sorry, that's the Fall Fest. Yeah, so.
And we're planning on doing it again. So asking the
Okay.
staff to do that would be just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, so as a committee, I said this last year, we wanted to try to pull it together, but we didn't know it wasn't happening until pretty far into 2025, and there just was not enough time to pull together all the pieces that needed to be pulled together. So
Well,
this year was starting early. Thank you, Kyle.
You can't get me
And
my,
let's do it, that bullet list.
under that
of-
pile on my chair.
all
is
right,
the
well, I have,
Small calendar under my calendar's on the bottom, the small calendar's right above it,
I talked
right
to
at my place.
Stacy, and, they've ordered eggs before. The stuffed one with toys was $77 for 500 of them, and stuffed with candy was $77,
For how many?
500.
So that was the
And-
same, whether it was candy or toys.
Correct.
Okay.
And the bunny suit is $85, and it has to be picked up in Dover and taken back to Dover.
And
Um,
somebody has to be in it.
Well, yeah, she said, Jim's,
Yo, Chris.
Jim German's daughter was in it the last time.
Bonnie
in the
Bunny.
past, yeah, in the past, they've gotten 1,000 eggs, and that is not enough. So we've got to get more than 1,000 eggs. They do have some Smarties left, and they have some eggs left with stickers in them. And let's see, in the past, they've had, like a craft drawing activity under the pavilion, with drawing pages and crayons and stuff. They've had the food truck, they've had the state police. Stacy talked about adding, maybe the library would come and read a story to the kids. So those are just some ideas.
I know since we're discussing it, I'll put it out there again, so we all have it on our list. We talked about having, sort of staged, it's not the right word, but timed starts for different age groups. Because what's happened in the past is there was just one egg hunt, somebody blew a whistle or whatever happened, or the police did their siren or something, and all the kids took off and it was a free for all. And all the bigger kids took all the eggs right away, and the little kids were toddling around and not getting anything. And so at least have separate locations. So maybe like right around the tot lot is just for the littler kids. And then we have some eggs like, out on the baseball field or other places for the bigger kids. just something to, you know, so everybody's sort of happy as far as the pool of kids that are there. Yes, no?
Yeah, I think they did that. The first one they didn't. The second one they divided a little bit. They put the little kids over towards the pickleball courts and then the other kids in the tot lot.
I don't know. From 2 years ago, I don't remember there being any division, but
Okay.
but anyway, I just want that to be on our proposal to schedule things that way. Anybody have anything else to add on Easter?
Do you want to look at dates today?
What is,
April 5th is
right,
Easter.
right. I know that. Have we done this on, we've done this on Saturday generally, right? The Saturday before, or 2 Saturdays before? Okay.
And Jeff suggested that we stay on a Saturday just
Uh-huh.
because of church, you know.
Yeah, we talked about doing a Sunday like in the afternoon at one point because so many
Mhm.
Saturdays were booked up. But if we grab one first, I mean, do we want to just say now that we're going for the Saturday before Easter? And can we, so that's March
No, it would be
29th?
April 4th.
No,
Easter.
I don't mean the day before Easter. I mean the week before Easter.
The 28th, March 28th.
Okay. Yeah, the day before Easter tends to be
Yeah.
not good. I mean, some people actually do travel for Easter and there's just usually a lot of stuff going on conflict wise. But the Saturday immediately before that weekend.
March 28th.
So can everybody look at holiday calendars, make sure there's nothing else like any other conflict that might make that, I mean, aside from, you know, it's Palm Sunday weekend, but that's it as far as Christianity goes. But if there's any other conflicts or any other big events that might be happening locally, let's just make sure they're not. And
Heather, I'm past this age, but I think there was some discussion before is that when any of the public schools or any of the schools have spring breaks, does that start that week before Easter? I'm not sure if you guys even have that schedule yet.
I do have that schedule. I don't have it right in front of me, but
Most are off that Friday and Monday of Easter.
the Friday and
Good
Monday,
Friday
Easter
and Monday.
weekend is no matter what is always, but some schools have spring break the week before and some have it the week after. But I think if we start getting to like trying to do it 2 weeks before,
Then people, okay.
I don't know. I mean, you know, I mean, you have to realize that, I mean, there's always going to be a conflict somewhere for some people.
You're right.
But I think doing it the week before people are in that Easter spirit sort of, and you know, if people are traveling for spring break and it starts that week, well, you know, they won't be there, but.
Yeah, and I think making it much earlier is risky. Easter's early this year, so I think it's
Correct.
gonna be colder than,
Wise and,
yeah, it's gonna be
Yeah.
colder than expected.
Oh, dear
Exactly.
God.
So, Dawn, do you want to check with office staff and make sure and the
Yep.
supervisors and make sure that date is
Yep.
acceptable?
Okay, the 28th.
And then maybe Stacy can post a big save the date on the
Okay.
website and,
Okay.
okay?
And then I would just suggest that we recheck the pricing for everything because that was 2 years ago, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that sounds good.
Do you think it's worth buying a bunny suit rather than renting it
yeah.
for $85? You probably can get them for, well, I know in the fall they had them and they were like $30.
We talked about that. I mean, I think it's a great idea. The office staff doesn't really want to have to store anything more than what they already deal with. But I don't, you know, I mean, for that amount of money, I don't see why anybody, I mean, I can keep it at my house, you know, kind of thing. The Dover place, the reason they go that far is because they know that costume place there takes really good care of their stuff. They wash it, it's not like they're getting something that somebody stinky was wearing the day before and they, throw it back out there.
I
Um,
think it's a real theatrical place. It's a good,
Yes,
yeah, it's
yeah,
a quality
spoke to-
place.
I spoke to the woman last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Jeff had, wonderful things to say about the woman they deal with there. So,
Chris had a question.
what?
Been to an Easter egg hunt or anything like that, so I don't really know what the decorum is for that. But would it be possible just to get like one of those the bunny ear things and just give those to the people that are volunteering and like supporting the children and all that stuff?
I think that's a great idea in addition, but
Okay.
kids want to see the bunny.
He was terrified of that thing as a kid, so I don't. Wasn't really my thing.
Yeah.
It was nightmare fuel for me.
My
I'll
kids
get
have
the
all
bunny
gone
to
through
chase
that.
you.
Yeah.
One year they love it, one year they're terrified. The same thing.
Just
Santa, whatever
just
else.
saying, it was nightmare fuel for me.
That happened with our grandson too. We have a great picture of him screaming in the bunny's lap.
Yep. Got several of those myself. But, kids who are afraid of it don't have to approach it, but if they want to, it's a great photo ops and, everybody wants the bunny.
Amazon has the costumes for $50, like the one they rent with the big head and the little suit with the bow tie. I just sent it to you.
Okay.
You just Lysol the inside of the head off.
Yeah. Yeah, let's read. I'm a stickler for looking at reviews and, that's one great thing about Amazon is that especially, unless something has less than 100 ratings, you can trust the rating system and people will let you know whether it's good or not. So, because I know there's probably a lot of crappy quality costumes that are coming from tariff laden. Well, we're paying the tariffs, but you know what I'm saying, that they are not the best quality.
Well, yeah, I was just comparing prices.
Yeah. And of course if it's Amazon, we can always order something, and if it's not great, and send it right back. So if we did it early enough, we can find out whether it's something that's decent quality, Okay. I don't have any other items on my list. Anybody else for new business? Okay, our one member of the public is not here anymore.
You're gonna check on the porta potty?
Dawn
I
said that there's no budget for it. So
I
Dawn
know
said she
we
would
have no
talk to-
plans.
She would
Okay.
talk to
Unless-
Kathy. She would talk to
Unless
Kathy
somebody
Bowen.
can, I'm gonna check with Kathy, but unless somebody has any idea how to pay for them.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's not-
that's
it's
the
not
bottom
much
line. I'm gonna check with Kathy tomorrow, okay?
Yep.
And I'll let everybody know.
Okay. Anything else? Anything we missed? Comments, suggestions? Okay. All right. Well, with that said, I motion to adjourn December 3rd Pro meeting. Any opposition? Okay, with that, we're adjourned, 8:01 PM.
Thank you,
you all.
guys.
Thank you. Thanks, John.
Oh wait, I have one more
Thanksgiving,
question.
everyone.
Oh,
Heather, I'm sorry. Is New Year's Eve the actual day of? I was just looking at the calendar. Sorry.
Actual day of what?
Of the next meeting.
oh,
Oh, no,
It's the day.
New
It's
Year's Eve.
okay. No, we're good. We're good. I'm sorry. So the
Yeah, no,
next
it would
meeting will be
no,
in
it would
the.
be the following week. I did look at that for you. It's the.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah,
I
sorry,
apologize.
look
Thank
on
you.
it. The 7th. Yeah, no, we wouldn't do it. We did push last year because it was New Year's Day, but
Okay.
this year I think it's the 7th or.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you.
All right.
thank
Take care.
you.
Good
All
Christmas.
right.
holiday.
Happy holidays, everybody. If we don't
Yes,
see
good
you before
night.
then.
Take care. Bye.
Take care. Bye.